In this episode, I'm exploring the most northern and rugged part of the Flinders Ranges. Well, good morning. Last night I stayed at a place called Arkaroola Village, and it's essentially a wildlife sanctuary. It's an enormous property. Arkaroola features many unique geological monuments, rugged mountains, towering granite peaks and magnificent gorges and waterholes. The property is home to a huge range of species of birds, reptiles and mammals. Well, it's a brand new day and I didn't waste any time. I hit the tracks and went exploring. I'm heading high up into the surrounding hills. Oh, here's a bit of a rough track. I'm loving this morning's drive, even though in places it's a bit rough. Ugh. Holy. Oh, well, that wasn't unexpected. It soon evens out as I near the top. What a view! What a view! So, good morning guys. I stayed the night last night at a place called Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary. Now this is an enormous area. It has about 100 kilometres of four-wheel driving tracks on it. And I'm on one of those tracks at the moment. Wow, what a view that is. Wow, let's see if we can get to the top. So this is a wilderness sanctuary. And they have a variety of accommodation available, including cabins and powered and unpowered sites. But they were all booked out. There was one single unpowered site left and I took that. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have come up this way. All right. What a view. Wow, what a stunning view that is. This whole area is known as Arkaroola. It is a wilderness sanctuary. They have about 100 kilometres of four-wheel driving tracks of varying difficulty. Now, I won't have time to explore those four-wheel drive tracks in great detail on this trip. I've got a limited amount of time, but I will stop at a few places along the way. This is an observatory. It's one of the highest peaks in the area, and the stars at night are stunning. I camped at Arkaroola Village last night. It was an unpowered site. They also have rooms and powered sites, but they were all booked out. But I sat outside and I watched the stars, and you could see the white streak of the Milky Way, and the stars were so bright. Is really quite amazing. If you want to see some amazing stars, you've got to get to the outback. It's just spectacular. So the hard part is how the hell I'm going to get off this peak. And there's a big drop next to me here, so I have to be very, very careful. It's a very, very tight spot. I've got to be super, super careful because one wrong move and I could just roll off the edge here. And I'm very high up. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Now let's make our way down this mountain. I've got the car in four-wheel drive low range, and I'm going to put the car in first gear, so I'm in low first, and we're just going to roll down this hill, just crawling our way down. It's hard to tell on camera sometimes, but it is actually pretty steep going down. The going is slow, but I eventually make it back down. There we go. So, with our morning fun out of the way, it's time to head further north. The pinnacles, 500 meters, let's go have a look. It's a beautiful day. Blue skies and hardly a cloud in sight, only a couple of tiny little clouds. 14 degrees at the moment, just on 9:30 in the morning. Wow. The Pinnacles is a granite rock formation known as a plug. Well, that's the Pinnacles up ahead. Quite an amazing rock formation in this looks like a bowl-shaped valley with a spike in the middle. Very interesting. Right, just turning off to Bola Spring. And I believe that there's two places we can go. We can go to the top of the springs or to the creek at the bottom of the springs. Ooh, lots of really sharp spiky rocks up ahead, so I have to take that very slowly. So we have the fork in the track, Bola Spring 1 kilometre that way, Bola car park 400 metres there, and no sign indicating what's up there, so let's go this way. Once again, stunning scenery. Look at this gorge off to our right, this wall of rock. That's amazing. Wow. This is so peaceful. This is Bola Springs. And there is currently no water in the spring or in the river here. The spring would be further up, but this would make the best camping spot. I can smell the eucalyptus leaves and the flowers. It smells like spring. It is beautiful. The air smells sweet. It is lovely. Absolutely beautiful. And unfortunately you can't camp here. It would be perfect if you could. But the problem is, when they let people camp just anywhere, people come and leave rubbish. They leave beer bottles and toilet paper. They dig up the tracks and they just generally spoil the environment. So to stop that from happening, you're not allowed to camp, and they force people to camp in huddled up in one little group in a campground right next to each other, when we've got this amazing, enormous country. We've got so much space that contains nothing. It would be so nice to be able to just camp wherever you like. And there are places where you can do that, but so far, in the prettiest of places, you can't, because they've turned them into national parks or as private property, and they don't allow camping. This is beautiful. I continue to make my way north, and the scenery is absolutely beautiful. It is such a joy to drive in an area like this. I'm feeling so content. Further on up the track, the area becomes quite rugged. I'm making my way towards some old ruins. According to my map, there is an old disused copper mine that I want to have a look at. But no sooner did I stop, I got a wonderful surprise.
I have to say g'day.
G'day, how you going? I saw your FJ coming up. How you doing?
Yeah, good. How's your bus going?
Yeah, going. So just made another FJ owner.
No.
So I had to have a chat to my new friends. We had a good long yarn about our vehicles and the track up ahead before parting ways again. Well, thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys maybe on the tracks.
I always call and say hello to an FJ driver.
Same here, same here. We stick together.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Safe on the road.
Here we go, another FJ owner out in the middle of nowhere. Well, that's how it goes. You see another FJ owner, you got to stop and say g'day. And so they were two nice guys. They camped the night at a place called Grenfell Hut, and I actually wanted to get there yesterday, and I didn't make it. But this place where I am right now is an old smelter. I believe it's copper they used to mine in the area, and this might have been a well. Let's go have a look at this. Oh wow. Yep, this is definitely a furnace. There's a hole at the top. So this is essentially an enormous kiln. I imagine that they would light a fire in here, and the equipment is now gone. It's just the stone building left. But you can see that the walls are made of huge chunks of rock. And then for the domed roof, looks like regular bricks, made a long time ago obviously. And there's your hole for your chimney. Wonder if anyone's tried camping in here. There's some more ruins up ahead. 14 degrees, blue skies, not much wind. Occasionally there is a couple of gusts, but mostly it's quite nice. There's no sign indicating what this little hut was used for. That was a fireplace. So I imagine this was a accommodation of some sort. Just a little 1-bedroom little hut with a fireplace. That looks like, almost looks like a bit of coal. There's a bit of tin, old tin can. It's great that people leave these things here. There's another building up ahead here. Got these interesting flowers everywhere. Not sure what they're called, but I've seen them everywhere in the park. Oh wow. Okay. That was clearly built for some purpose. I'm not sure if that was water that was coming down here or something else. I imagine it could have been water. It'd be really nice if there was a sign telling us exactly what this place was. Right, onwards and upwards. Time to head further north. It's getting close to midday and the searing sun is beating down on the FJ. It is getting really hot. I haven't seen another car in hours. It definitely feels very, very remote. I've just been driving along this track for about an hour and it's a beautiful day, blue skies, a slight bit of wind, but apart from that the sun is nice and warm and I'm completely alone, just driving along at 20 kilometers an hour, watching the scenery and exploring. And there's nothing more that I like than doing exactly this. If I could spend every day doing this for the rest of my life, I would be happy. Look at this countryside. We've got these dried out looking shrubs where all of their branches pointing upwards and they come to a cone shape at the top. It's really quite bizarre. And then we've got very dry, arid countryside with very barren looking hills there. Yeah, amazing, amazing countryside. Absolutely love it. So the FJ is performing really well, really comfortable, super capable vehicle, as I've probably mentioned on a few other videos. No trouble with it getting up or down any kind of terrain. It just goes, you just put the steering wheel on and it goes. Wow. I've got some emus approaching me. There's two of them. If I stand still, maybe they'll come close by. I was not expecting this. Look at that. Now I'm about 4 or 5 meters from the car, so if they come too close, I'll just slowly back up to the car and get in. I don't want to frighten them. This is actually really, really cool. This is what I love about getting out into the countryside, out into the bush. And occasionally, if you get out of your car and just observe, nature will just come up to you. Wow. Hello. Is this a David Attenborough moment or what? Here's two emus in their natural habitat. Look at that, that's so amazing. And look how well he blends into his surroundings. Or her. They're curious. Hello there. Hello there. I'm not going to hurt you. Wow. Now that was something special. Two emus in their natural habitat. And one FJ Cruiser in its natural habitat. And these guys are about 5 meters away from me. And that was so very special. Wow. Wow, that was something else. So the plan for today is to continue heading in a northerly direction. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to the next major town, but I'm hoping to make it to Murray by the end of the day. Now, Murray is the start of the Oodnadatta track, so it'll be really nice to make it to Murray. Wow, that was absolutely amazing. Just goes to show there's wild animals around you everywhere, but we just don't notice. If you spend the whole day in the car driving at breakneck speed, you'll miss all of this. It's only because I stopped the car and decided to say a piece to camera that the emus just came out of the bush and they're curious. And they wandered up, had a look at me, and I stayed rock still. And when they were satisfied, they wandered off into the bush. That was amazing. So I'm just heading up to the Wheel Turner mine. I don't know what kind of mine it is, but guessing from the other artifacts that I've seen around the landscape, I'm going to guess it's going to be a copper mine. This entire area is very rich in minerals, and copper is one of those minerals that they've mined. I believe there's no longer any mining going on, but there's a lot of old sandstone ruins and various other things to be found in this area. The track is in parts a little bit rough, so I'm just taking it nice and slow, 20 k's an hour, just crawling along. there's a small wire fence running along the length of the track to the left of me, and on that side of the fence is Flinders Ranges National Park, and on this side of the fence it looks like just public land. Well, we've arrived at the Wheel Turner disused mine. It's quite an isolated area. There really is nothing around here. The first miners were Cornish, and wheel is the Cornish word for mine. Now, judging by the sandstone ruins, this probably dates back to the 1800s. Copper was discovered in the Flinders Ranges in the early 1800s. This was followed by a number of copper mines that sprang up all over the countryside. The most successful was the Blenman mine. But in this part of the Flinders Ranges, the copper mines weren't that successful. The area was really remote, the countryside was very rugged, and the grade of copper that they produced was considered very poor. So they didn't last very long, and they were all soon abandoned. Well, once again, there's no sign to say what this is, how old it is, etc. Oh, some shallow graves. It could be shallow graves. There's some pits. Well, coming up is a rock formation known as the Needles. Well, behind me is a rock formation known as the Needles. There's a sign saying the Needles, no access, so we can't get any closer, but it looks distinctive and unusual. Just like the pinnacles we encountered earlier, this is a granite plug. And that's all I've got to say about that. Distinctive and unusual. I really wish that they would put more signs up explaining what these things are. Things I'd like to know is, what kind of rock is it? What kind of cultural significance does it hold for the Aboriginal people of the area? How old is it? How did it form? You know, these are the questions that I have, and it would be really nice just to erect a little sign telling me those sorts of things. But because there's no sign, I can't tell you anything about it except it's distinctive and unusual. Oh well, let's keep going. Shortly after, the track made its way onto private property as I continued heading north. I love how the scenery can change from one minute to the next. So we are on a private property at the moment, heading back down on the other side of the Flinders Ranges National Park. So I've just spent the last 5 hours driving across completely empty countryside, much like this. Not a sign of human life anywhere. There's no fences, no power lines, no farms, no houses, no vehicles, no people, nothing. It's completely empty. And I love it. If I could spend the rest of my life doing this sort of thing, I would, because I just love travelling through countryside like this and exploring this great country. Up ahead, that's the Flinders Ranges again, but a different part of the Flinders Ranges. This is a little bit further north from where we started the video series off at. I'm actually not going into those ranges because this track makes its way to a sealed road, which then eventually takes me into a town. And from there I'm going to some other places which you will find out about in good time. But as far as the Flinders Ranges series is concerned, this is a fitting place to end it. I've really enjoyed making it, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you've made it this far into the video series, thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. and I shall see you in another video coming up very soon. So until then, take care guys, bye bye. Well, I've just stopped to show you one thing. Look at what I've discovered. Power lines. This is the first sign of civilization. And where there's power lines leads to a power station, or at least a town. So let's go find our town.